So we have this donation by the states. If we mandate donation repayment, where does it come from?
Well, as the bill's written, it would come out of the Treasury, not out of the National Park Service appropriation.
It's my understanding it would come out of, that APROPS would take it out of the Interior account. Which
that is possible. At the scoring level, I suppose it could
right.
be.
But with a 12% reduction, you're not really in a place to reimburse it yourselves.
I would say not. It would be difficult to find yet another $2 million. That's
okay. There's a third bill which is not yet on the table, and I mean, if you sort of compare the three bills, we have one bill to reimburse the states for their donations, a second bill which purports to say that that's 3311, which says that, well, we'll just set up a system proactively to deal with this, and I'm a bit puzzled by it, and Mr. Cox, you testified in favor of it, and I'm wondering your interpretation, because it says, it appears to me that the states would immediately take over the parks and run them. Is your state equipped on, say, if you're notified on January 15th and on January 16th the parks are going to be shut, to bring in a mass of well-trained and already oriented state employees or contractors to run the park?
I believe that we would contract with the parks as we did during this previous shutdown.
Okay. Well, the language then in the bill I think needs a little tightening, because it says that the state seeks to conduct, and it's a very broad language, not to just contract. Now, during this last shutdown, you did not ask for the Park Service to reopen all of the parks in Utah. I believe it was 12 of 18. Is that right?
That is correct.
And so if you were looking at future proactive agreements in case of another one of these self-inflicted wounds, would you endeavor to reopen all 18?
Yes, I believe we would. The time constraints and the financial restraints, because we weren't sure exactly how this would work out. We tried to get the biggest bang for our buck from an economic standpoint. Okay.
And we did see some pretty high numbers from you about revenue that was lost to, I guess, to tourism. I assume that's all categories, small businesses,
correct,
et cetera.
Correct.
But some percentage of that probably would have flowed to the state and tax revenues. I don't know what your tax system's like.
Yes, that's correct. Our taxes are lower than many states, but that is also correct.
Okay. So, Mr. Spencer, can you envision how much time it would take? I mean, how many units of the Park Service are there around the country?
About 400. 400. Yes.
So if all the governors and all the states wanted to have proactive, anticipatory agreements, this would probably take some fairly substantial amount of resources, particularly if they varied their requirements or requests or specified things.
Absolutely.
All right. So, I would note that I think that, A, the language would need tightening, and B, for something that's happened twice since I've been in Congress for 27 years and hopefully will never happen again, I would think that this would be really a waste of taxpayer money to enter into these proactive agreements with the states. So, I would not support legislation. And then the third bill, which is not subject to this panel but the next panel, would allow states to basically take any asset of the federal government under their management, still be reimbursed by the federal government for half the cost. So what do you think about that one? I mean, we're going to take Denali and Alaska takes it over. We pay them 50% of what it takes to run it. I mean, do our gate revenues provide what percentage of the costs of a park like that?
It varies by park, some higher than others, but I believe it's in the 7 to 8% range.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Stewart, do you have questions?